Welcome to JP's on-demand virtual workouts. Tonight's workout is ass and abs, brand new exercises for you tonight and a brand new sequence for you also. The only equipment you will require tonight, although you can perform the whole workout with just your own body weight, a hip loop, a set of long resistance bands and a set of dumbbells as well. Also remember, if you are watching this back on YouTube, you can always watch, these back on our replays and through our playlists. So if you do these workouts and you feel you could make them a little bit more challenging, obviously you can just hit that replay button and watch the videos back. You'll also find these on our groups, or in our groups, and on our main feed also. Okay, are you ready to go? Oh, I'm excited for tonight. Okay, let's get started. So the first exercise we're going to do is squats. So we're going to get you to do them with a band today. So we're going to get this timer started. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is squats. Now take your loop. Now you can have the loop below the knee, above the knee, or close to the hip. It's harder the closer it is to the knees, and easier it is the further up. So pick your preferred squat position. Root those feet in, thighs, glutes, core engaged to start with. Go into your hitchhike position. Then root your feet, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, and get as low as you feel comfortable going to. Take a deep breath in, engage your core muscles, start to descend. So I'll show you from the side. Feet are rooted, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, spine stays fixed, come back up. Okay, next exercise is a reverse lunge. We'll keep the loop on. I'll show you two options. So we're going to do alternating reverse lunge, step back, drop your knee to the floor, and then step back up. Thighs are tight, glutes are tight, core's engaged. If you find it too challenging with the loop, please take it off. Or what you can do is you can just step. Next exercise, you will require your band, your long resistance band as well. Okay, so next we're going to go into a Bandit Bridge. Now you can do this without the band. Hold the center of it, loop the feet. We're going to do this for 60 seconds. Slide the band up over the hip crease and then come up into your bridge. So core's engaged, tension, chin's tucked, and extend your hips. So ideally you want this band over the crease of the hip. "30 seconds. So this is hip extension. We're moving from the glutes and the back of the thighs. Nearly done. Okay, loop off. Next exercise we're going to do is a Romanian deadlift with your dumbbells. So grab your dumbbells, start with your feet hip width apart, 3 points of contact, big toe, pinky and heel, dumbbells close to the thighs, glutes, core engaged, soften at the knees, fold at the hips, spine stays fixed, and then come back up, pulling the hips through. Knees are soft, hinge. Dumbbells are going to come just below the knee. Again, we're doing this for 60 seconds. So the RDL position, you want the dumbbell as close to the thigh as you can. Knees soft, a little bit more glute dominant. Make sure those feet stay rooted in. Push those thighs out against the loop as well. Next exercise, take your loop off. We're going to start with the core, or start working the core, sorry. Directly. Okay. So, loop off. We're going to do a dead bug exercise. So, lie in the back, bend at the knees, arms out in front. Now, ribcage pull down so you've got an abdominal brace. Then what we're going to do is drop one leg down, squeezing the thigh and glute, and then reach that arm back. All while maintaining your abdominal brace. Keep going. So we're going to do these for a little bit longer tonight. 60 seconds. Now, making a fist, reaching behind me, see that? Glute, thigh tight on this side. If you find it hard to coordinate, just take your time. You can always go very, very slow. Just keep that going. 5 seconds. 3. Okay, next. This is called a side balance clam. I'll give you 2 options. The hardest option is in your side plank variation with the knee in the floor. Bring both legs together, hand in the hip, and then I want you to externally rotate your thigh and glute. Now you will feel this on the bottom leg as well, and glute. If that's too challenging, do the lock clam. So you're lying on your side. We'll do 30 seconds on each side. Change. So your lock clam is here, toe to heel, pelvis roll forward, knee up and down, okay? So keep your lateral core muscles tight, keep the glute tight on this bottom hip as well. Very good. Okay, next, lie on your back. 2 options again. What we're going to do is come up into the hollow position here, straighten those legs out, and I want you to do cross body scissors. If you find that too challenging on the low back, try and pull the rib cage down as much as you can, or what you can do is rest the hands under the top of your butt. That just gives you a slight tilt to the pelvis here and will protect the back. Very good. Okay, next, feet together. This is called a frog crunch now, so the hands are going to go between the thighs. Again, bring the shoulder blades off the floor, egg distance, and then small pulses. So I'm pulling the rib cage to the front of the pelvis. I'm not jerking up. Take your time. Push those fingertips forward. I'm also pushing the bottoms of my feet together here as well. Very good. Flip round. Next one, plank rotation or rotate and reach. So full plank position. What I'd like to do is rotate from the hips. Bring the hands to the chest and then reach up, squeezing the upper back. Bring the hand back to the start, reach, back down, rotate, make sure you're squeezing the back of the shoulders and upper back. This glute's tight in this side here, see that? And reach, okay? Stay in the plank. What we're going to do next is called an oblique crunch. So we're going to bring the knee to the outside of the elbow at the same side. If you find this too challenging, find somewhere to put your hands. So you'll elevate the hands, just use less percentage of your weight. You're going to need your hip loop for this next one. So spine stays fixed. Okay, hip loop on. What we're going to do now is a forearm straight leg lift. So flip round, Forearms on the floor, head in the hands, straighten the right leg out, and then lift up and down. Change sides. So make sure you line everything up here. Elbows directly under the shoulders. Keep the leg nice and straight and squeeze your glute at the top, extending the hips. Extending the hips, sorry. My apologies. Okay, I'm going to hit you with a lot of planks here. Apologise in advance. Back onto the elbows. Plank again. Alternating abductions. And then after this, we're going back to squats. And I'm going to change the time on this next round for your squats, your lunges, and your bridges. We'll do 60 seconds on all 4 of them, including the hinge as well, or the RDL. You can make sure you're keeping your core braced in all of your plank movements. In fact, every movement. Okay, first squat position again. Control it down. And up. Show you from the side. So maintain your 3 points of contact with the floor and come back up. So your glutes have been targeted mostly around about here. Make sure you're pushing your thighs out against your loop as well. Keep going. Now you can add weight here as well if you want to go goblets. You can also. 30 seconds. Okay, take the loop off this time, and you can do bodyweight lunges, or you can add some dumbbells. Okay, feet hip width apart, step back onto the ball of the foot, bend at the legs and the hips, push back off. Make sure your glute and the back of the thigh are tight when you go down. On that back leg. .30 seconds. So create as much tension required to stay nice and stable. Thighs, glutes, core engaged throughout. Okay, very good. Next, Bandit Bridge or Bodyweight Bridge, hip loop bridge, dumbbell bridge, whatever you have available. You don't need to use the band. So band over the hip crease, 3 points of contact with your feet on the floor, and then extend your hips up. So I'm just keeping my hands at the side of my hips here, just to keep the band in position as well. .30 seconds. Now my feet are still rooted here. I'm pushing my thighs out a little bit coming up. Scooping the hips under at the top. Dumbbell RDL next. Okay. Feet hip width apart. Stand tall to start. Dumbbells close to the thighs. 3 points of contact. Soft knees. Create tension at your core. Then start to hinge. So only go as far as you can maintain that nice stiff spine for. 30 seconds. Another way to look at it, imagine you've got a splint front and back here and you're trying to maintain that. That's like signaging you in basically. Next, you're going into the dead bug. Right, next with the dead bug this time, I want us to stay left leg, right hand for the first one. So make sure you've got compression through the abdominals here, keeping tension. Good way to think about it is try and keep a crease in the top. So if you're here, you're not keeping this tight. Change sides. Now I'm straightening my leg, glute, front of my thigh. Next we're going to go into the side balance clam. Very good. Flip onto your right side. Hand, elbow, shoulder in line. And then knees just behind the hip. And then let's come up into that clam. Now when I'm bringing the leg round, I'm squeezing both glutes. If you can't get around that far, don't worry. Just play around here. This is fine too. Change sides. Again, you can always do your lock clam as well. Now, I just moved my knee position there. What I'd like you to try and do is keep the knees far away from your hip, so we're involving less of the front of the thighs and the hip flexors. Okay, line your back, so we're going to go into the scissors now. So start off in your hollow. Rib cage close to pelvis, straighten your legs out, and then again, keeping that rib cage as close to the pelvis as you can, egg distance. Again, if you want, you could be here. Just pick a position that's not causing any discomfort. Okay, next, frog crunch. Bottoms of the feet together, heels close to the hips, hands between the thighs, and then bring the shoulder blades off the floor, let the head follow. Okay, notice I'm not jerking up, I'm taking my time. Okay, flip round. Plank rotation. Now notice I'm reaching up to the roof. I'm not reaching away round here. Up to the roof, back of the shoulders, upper back. And don't forget about the glutes, or the glute on this side. Also make sure you're not sticking your butt out here as well. Pull the hips through and then up. Next one, plank, oblique crunch. As I've mentioned previously, obviously hard to use be on the knees for this one because you're using your legs, so a good idea would be to elevate the hands. Very good, okay. Loops on. Forearm straight leg lift. Switch sides. Okay, back into the plank again, and it's plank abductions. Alternate. Nice length in the spine. Again, think splinter, front to back. Stopping this and stopping this. Then we'll go back into squats. Okay, back to exercise number 1. Squats. So you can do this with still body weight, or you can add a dumbbell along with your loop. Root the feet, thighs, glutes, core engaged. Breathe in and start to descend. Remember, you can change that loop to make it harder, closer to the knees, or easier, closer to the hips. 30 seconds. Again, you can pick your own resistance here if you have heavier weights available. Again, only if your form is very, very good and very safe. Okay, loops off. Alternating lunges. Step back, roll into the ball of the foot and the toes, bend at the knees, come back up. Make sure that glute is tight on that back leg, maintaining hip extension, that's called. Not this, this. Again, just take your time. If you find it hard to stabilise with the weights, put them down. Start with no weight first. 30 seconds to go. Make sure you're pushing through the thighs and pulling your hips through to finish. Bandit Bridge next. Now again, try and get the band on the crease of your hip. Brace your core, extend the hips up. "30 seconds, and then we're going into the Romanian dumbbell Romanian deadlift, or RDL. Nearly done. I quite like doing that with the band, flipping myself up. Okay. Hip width apart, 3 points of contact, dumbbells close to the thigh, thighs to core engaged, soften the knees, fold at the hips, stiff spine. Only going as far as you can maintain your nice spine position for. "30 seconds, and then we're going into dead bug. Keep those shoulders packed as well. Very good. Dead bug next. Okay, make a fist, tension, pack the shoulders a little bit, and then start with the left leg and down, right arm going back. Keep that crease in your t-shirt, or top. Make sure when you're dropping that leg down, you squeeze the glute, or use your glute to do that, to extend the hip, and then engage the front of your thigh as well. Change sides. Side balance clam next. My apologies, I should have had that hand right above my shoulder. I think it was here. Okay, side balance clam. Now, knees not right under the hips, away from the hips a little bit, in line. Let's try this, the knees back a bit more. There we go. Much harder to stabilise myself in this position, but definitely a better glute contraction. Again, if you find it hard to balance in this one, just practice your regular clams. Okay, very good. Right, next. Scissors. Start with the knees bent. Rib cage pull close to the front of the pelvis, legs straight. So tension through here, and then let the legs go to work. Again, too challenging. Too challenging on the low back. If you find it hard to engage here properly, then hands under the bum. Still too much discomfort. Start with the legs higher. Less percentage of the resistance, obviously. A bit messy there. Okay, frog crunch. Bottoms of feet together, thighs pushed apart, heels close to the hips, hands between the thighs, and then just slide shoulder blades off the floor, bring the rib cage close to the front of the pelvis. Going to be nice these here. Going to add some time. Pause at the top. So I recommend breathing in here and exhaling hard. Coming up. Okay, very good. Flip round, plank rotation. Make sure when you're rotating round, watch this hip, glutes tight. So I'm in a side plank, can't I? Yeah, see it? Okay, plank, oblique crunch. Keep that spine nice and fixed. You need your loop for the next one. Okay, loops on. I need to stop throwing that as far away. Okay, forearm straight leg lift. So back of the thigh and glute to come up. Switch sides. Very good, okay. Forearm plank abductions to finish. Remember, thighs, glutes, core engaged. Nearly done. Well, ladies and gents, that is us for another ass and abs. So thank you so much to everyone for taking part tonight. If you have any questions regarding any of our workouts, please comment below. Tomorrow night, no mercy. Holy moly. Right guys, good night.